Back in 2015, a musical called Hamilton had its debut. Now, I don't know if you've seen it or heard the soundtrack, but if you have, you might remember a certain line that goes, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and when I meet Thomas Jefferson, I'ma compel him to include women in the sequel work." Obviously, I am not a vocalist, but the sentiment is there. And 200 years of progress later, that message still stands. Women are glaringly absent from the United States Constitution. Sure, there's the 19th Amendment that guarantees women the right to vote, but that's about it. Nowhere is absolute equality guaranteed to all people, not just men. And that's a problem. But we don't have to wait for a sequel to the Constitution to find a solution. We just need to fix the one that we have. And we already have a way to do it. It's something called the Equal Rights Amendment. The Equal Rights Amendment, commonly known as the ERA, would be the 28th Amendment to the Constitution if it were to pass. It was originally written by Alice Paul and Crystal Eastman and introduced to Congress in 1923. In 1972, it finally passed through the House and the Senate and was sent to the states for ratification. However, by the extended deadline of June 30th, 1982, 10 years later, only 35 of the 38 states required had ratified the amendment. But what exactly does the Equal Rights Amendment entail? The first section of the amendment explains what it guarantees, reading, "Equality of rights shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex." That means that gender discrimination of all types would be illegal throughout America. Of course, that would mainly benefit women, but as it was pointed out by actress Patricia Arquette, people think it's a women-only issue, but it's not. It's an equality issue. The ERA never singles out women in particular. It only says that states cannot discriminate based on sex. That means men and transgender and non-binary individuals would also be protected, as well as men, under the amendment. You might be thinking, wait a minute, haven't we already passed all the laws needed to ensure equality? Well, sort of. It's true we've made a lot of progress in advancing human rights and equality. Women can now vote, own property, hold jobs, have credit, and many more things that were not possible before, or were only possible through husbands or fathers. Certain states, such as Oregon, now recognize non-binary genders as legally valid when they were not before. But there are still many cases of discrimination throughout the United States. Women are often denied jobs because they are seen as less competent, or they may become pregnant in the future and have to take time off, or they might have to move if their husband's jobs move away. And even if they do get jobs, they're often paid less than their male counterparts. Men are more often denied custody of their children during divorces. Legislation, such as North Carolina's HB 2, forces transgender individuals to use the bathrooms that correspond to the genders on their birth certificates rather than their true genders. And it is still legal in many states to deny jobs or housing to transgender and non-binary individuals based on sex. Equality is nowhere near guaranteed in the United States. That's where the ERA comes into play. Ratifying the ERA would provide protection to all citizens, despite what their state laws may say. A basic level of equality would become standard through the entire country, and certain pieces of legislation, such as HB 2, might be challenged as unconstitutional and overturned. There are other benefits to ratifying the ERA. Because a constitutional amendment is so much more difficult to overturn than ordinary legislation, it would be very difficult and nearly impossible to repeal the ERA on a whim. Many people are concerned, given the histories of the president and vice president-elect, that their rights as citizens may be threatened during the new presidential term. A constitutional amendment would guarantee a basic amount of protection should the new administration attempt to attack human rights and reverse the progress of the last few decades. However, the ERA is not only important legally. Ratifying the ERA would send a powerful message to the world. Placing gender equality in the document that serves as the foundation of our country would tell the world that we value all citizens equally, not just men. And it would also tell citizens of our own country who oppose gender equality that they are not justified in their beliefs, and they go against the core values of America. With all of these reasons why we should pass the ERA, there aren't any excuses left. We need to put the ERA in the Constitution now. The line that immediately follows, "And when I meet Thomas Jefferson, I'm gonna compel him to include women in the sequel work," says, look around at how lucky we are to be alive right now. We as a nation have never been closer to liberty and justice for all, and the time to make it a reality is right now. History is happening, and we just happen to be here to have a hand in its writing. By pushing to include the ERA in the Constitution, we stand to redefine what it means to be American. So how incredibly lucky we are to be alive right now.